YouTube, it's Alicia here. Hope everybody is having a great day and great night. And I am coming to give y'all we're going to do a little brief Money in the Bank recap. We're going to recap a couple of things, and y'all going to give my opinion on certain things because I want to hear from y'all too. But let's get started on this U.S. Championship. Y'all, I want to understand. Is it right that Bobby Lashley wasn't even considered to be part of the men's Money in the Bank match? So in the men's Money in the Bank match, let me make sure. Because I think if I recall, hold up. Let me go back. If I recall, I think Ricochet was also in that match. Okay, it's not showing, but I don't know about that. That was just what I saw, but I don't know. But we're just gonna go with. So they had Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Almost, and Sami Zayn and Riddle. And then at the last minute, after the Universal Championship, they added Austin Theory. Do I think it was right to add Austin Theory to this match? We already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in that match, and they needed a 7th person. If I was going to say if they could have added anybody in that match, this is just me, I would have added Bobby Lashley. Would have been more fair, or have some unknown, like somebody from NXT to be part of it. That would have been great and stuff, but we didn't get that. Or we could have had a legend to come back and be part of that or something. Or have a call up, put in. But no, we didn't even have Finn Balor part of this match. And I'm going to come and talk about Vince McMahon and his dealings with Finn Balor anyway in a few days. But my thing is this. You have all these guys. And I really would have thought between Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins and Riddle, no offense to y'all, Riddle would have won, but I would have never thought they would put Austin Theory in. I really thought if they would have put somebody else in, I would have thought, let's see, probably. Oh my God. This is going to be a long shot. Kofi Kingston, because, I always like Kofi Kingston. Or Ricochet could have been part of this match. No matter what, they didn't. They gave that last spot to Austin Theory. And I see what Vince McMahon's been doing. And y'all, I called this months back. And I told y'all, Vince McMahon is trying to give Austin Theory the John Cena treatment. And I know some of y'all going to say, well, okay, hold up, Leash. What is this John Cena treatment? If you remember in the beginning, John Cena has a look, and he built John Cena up to be a top superstar. I see what Vince McMahon is doing, and he's doing trying to do the same thing with Austin Theory. Why are you doing this? Austin Theory needed to stay with that the U.S. Championship for at least another a year. And so he needs to be more, he's not a credible wrestler at the moment. He's a good wrestler. I'll give him that. He's a good wrestler. But he's not going to be a good, credible champion for a WWE title belt or Universal title belt. So you have to think of that. That's one. Overall, with the men's Royal Rumble, with the men's Money in the Bank, doing that party and that segment, I'll rank that an 8 out of 10. Really and truly, I will rank that men's Money in the Bank an 8 out of 10 because of the person who won it. I would say I don't think Austin Theory, no offense to any Austin Theory fans, it's just I'm giving my opinion. Austin Theory, I cannot see him as a credible Universal Champion. I can't see him as a credible WWE champ. So you got to think. Roman Reigns has these 2 title belts. Can Austin Theory be a credible U.S. champ, a credible WWE champ, but a credible Universal champ? He was a I would say he was a great and a credible Universal champion, but he needs to be trying to go for that Intercontinental champion. And then I'm tired of him trying to drop hints saying he wants to wrestle John Cena. You ain't on the caliber of John Cena yet. Let's just put it like that. Austin Theory is not on the caliber of John Cena. He got bits and pieces of it, but I really would say John Cena's father would probably say Austin Theory ain't on my son's caliber yet. Really, truly, I could actually see John Cena Sr. saying Austin Theory is not on my son's caliber yet. So I'm just saying, hey, this is what I think John Cena's father would say. Okay, so the next match, we got, hold up, y'all. Let me scroll back for weekend and stuff because we got to talk about this. We have the women's Money in the Bank match. You have Becky Lynch. Really? Becky Lynch, Alex Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Gonzalez, Lacey Evans, Asuka, and Shotzi Blackheart. So, okay, we have 1, 2, 3. 3 new fresh faces who's not strangers in the women's Money in the Bank. Who are strangers to the women's Money in the Bank match. But then you have another 3 that you have 4 who's not strangers to the women's Money in the Bank match. You got Becky Lynch and Alex Bliss, and you have Lacey Evans and Asuka. Them 4, they're not they are familiar with the Money in the Bank. I really believe that women's Money in the Bank was pretty awesome. Went back and watched it this morning. It was pretty awesome. It was good. Becky and Asuka went at it a lot. I really think they you can build something without a title belt with these 2. So I really think we can get a little bit all year feud with that. And I will come back at a later date and talk about that. But overall, with the women's Money in the Bank match, I have to give that a 10 out of 10. It was great, but it was finally, I've been saying this for months, we need to see people that haven't been given chances to win stuff like this. And what we saw Liv Morgan come in and win the women's Money in the Bank. Not only that, let's go on to the women's SmackDown Women's Championship match. You had none other Natty versus Ronda Rousey. Okay, the reason I'm doing those dramatics, sorry y'all about the dramatics. And with that match, I would say it was a pretty good match. That was a pretty good match. Ronda ended up containing, but y'all, Liv Morgan did a Bailey, let's say a Bailey move, and cashed it in on Ronda Rousey in winning it and stuff. I thought that was just pretty cool. But y'all, let me tell y'all something. I heard from, you got to go to Pro Wrestling Unlimited to check this out. Rumors was Ronda wanted to drop her title to Liv Morgan. So I'm wondering, okay, are we going to get babyface versus babyface, or is Ronda going to turn heel and stuff? Because if y'all don't know, in real life they are actually good friends. So we're going to have to see where this. Are we going to get a Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey for the women's title belt? I really hope they let Liv Morgan hold her title belt until a long time. Let her hold the title belt and and let her defend her title belt like at New Year's Eve in 2023. I think that would be a pretty good match. Not only that, we had got a pretty good match with Bianca Belair versus Carmella. Y'all know how I feel about Carmella, but I digest. Carmella, like I said, Carmella, she's okay, but I will say this. The match was a pretty good match. Like I'm saying, I'm going to give this particular match, Bianca versus Carmella, a 9 out of 10. The reason I give it a 9 out of 10 is just Carmella did too much showboating and stuff in the match. I will say they both did a lot of Carmella did a lot of showboating. Bianca did do a little bit of showboating, but not much. But overall, it was a good match, and I just thought it was pretty good. Okay, so now let's get to the tag team Undisputed Tag Team Championship. The Street Profits versus the Usos. This was a pretty good match. I mean, I think they kind of setting up for another match. Overall, it was a pretty good match, and you got the it was a pretty good match. Sami Zayn kind of interfered a little bit and stuff with the match and thing. Overall, let me just say, overall, the Street Profits end up losing the match, and the Usos contain their undisputed tag team championships. Let me just say, it's going to take a lot more than what you think. But I'm always going to say that was a good match. It was that match literally gives a 10 out of 10. It's what we have to see. Overall, for the whole show, I really would have to give the whole show a 9 out of 10. It was a pretty awesome match. Excuse me, y'all. Pretty awesome match, and I just had to come and talk about it and think, because it was a pretty good for 2022. It was pretty good, but I really want to see. I want to see more newer wrestlers in the Money in the Bank match each year. And stuff. I just need to see more of them and lesser and more newer wrestlers in the Money in the Bank, but I need to see much lesser than 2 veterans in that match. That's all I have to say with that, because I really believe if we could get that, that would be great. Now, overall, it was a pretty good match and thing, but I really would say we got a pretty good match from it and thing. But overall, it was like I said, a pretty good match and stuff. And y'all already know I already talked about the Logan Paul thing. And I want to hear from y'all. How do y'all feel that Liv Morgan is now the SmackDown Women's Championship? And what is next for her as Women's Champ? I want to hear from y'all. Let me hear from y'all. So the question of the day is, what is next for Liv Morgan as SmackDown Women's Champion? Until then, I'm Alicia. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.